Well, that's the next conversation. Well, not the billionaire part, the wellness for children part. So we're talking about this morning. We're talking about Children's Day on Monday. And we hardly, one of the things, Alera, that gets to me about these issues, we rarely talk about children. Well, our lives, news, everything we do most of the time is always about the adults.
Yeah, but there are children's programs that talk to and about children.
Oh, really? Like which one, please?
Well, I don't watch children's programs, so I don't know. But when I was growing up, we had children's programs.
Look, how many young adults today remember their Sesame Street? How many? We still remember our Tom and Jerry. Exactly. We still remember our Tom and Jerry. We still remember our Sesame Street.
Well, the children remember Sesame Street. They still remember Ninja Turtles.
Okay, well, some of them do. And then when they grow up, what do they remember?
Ninja Turtles.
But, I mean, so generally, we just want to focus on children today as much as we can. Because even when we talk about wellness, talk about keeping fit, it's all about the mummies and daddies.
Because children don't need exercise to keep fit. They exercise naturally all the time. So you don't need to tell them about
But then in
rats.
the name of indulging children, I want to buy you meat pap. What's that thing? Yeah, whatever it is. Want to buy them meat pies. And funny thing.
And take them to their favorite eatery.
Let me make you laugh.
The one that is Mr. Kineko.
Let me make you laugh, Alera. I went to buy fuel recently. I was queuing, just a short queue, and there was a pizza joint right ahead. I said, my daughter just said, okay, so sweetheart, when we're done buying fuel, we're gonna get you pizza. I said, sitting in the back seat, Dad, no junk food.
Uh-oh.
Say, yeah?
Well, then, she's the one telling you.
I said, not be your fault.
It's because you offered.
I was thinking to indulge. I don't take pastries.
Well, she didn't want to be indulged.
Daddy, no junk food. I'm like,
My bad. My bad.
No vex.
Abiel.
So this morning, I want to talk about wellness for children. Well-being isn't just for grown-ups, just so you know. Physical, mental, emotional, and social health are all equally important and contribute to our well-being. And most of the time, we talk about this thing for adults. How about children? Let's have that conversation with Ezeha Bolaji-Olojo, who is a certified health coach in terms of mindset and habits. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aya. Hello, Lady Alera. It's good to be here.
Morning.
Lady Alera.
Yes. And Mr. Aya, I have to talk about your daughter. She's my wellness champion. Daddy!
No junk food.
You should have seen her face.
Yes.
She sat down.
Come on.
She was recovering. Daddy, no junk food.
Love it.
I mean, and I didn't think I'd ever know a child who would refuse a pizza. I didn't think so. Well, I'm glad to say I know her. I know, and I'm proud of her.
Yes.
So, wellness for children, do we take it for granted?
I hope we don't, because things are getting really, really bad. And at this point, Lady Alera,
They are getting.
they're progressing to really worse states at an alarming rate.
Why is that?
First, I love what you said, how that you didn't expect that a child would reject junk food. What's happening now is we're creating more awareness. It really was a lack of awareness and even ignorance. I feel like sometimes when it comes to feeding our children, we just think that the more we indulge them, the better parents we are. Somehow, because even I, as a parent, as I started to have children, there were just some certain foods that were not the healthiest, but they were the norm. That it just looked like, of course, as we grow up, we give them sausages. It's just normal. How do we show that we love our children? We give them pizza. But now there's global awareness. The big bodies are shouting because there's actually a global health crisis that's affecting children. If we don't do something now, the future, and we're talking about it with Mr. Kingsley, the future would really be at stake. So now everybody wants the future to be healthy. So there's all of the awareness that's coming up now. And I think I don't know that many people can claim ignorance now. Yes, we have people in the poorly developed area that don't know yet and are actually suffering from malnutrition. But a lot more people in this area we are now suffering from overnutrition. Overnutrition.
Leading to obesity?
Leading to obesity, type 2 diabetes. I didn't even know, I learned recently, yes, type 2 diabetes with children.
Children.
And you know type 2 diabetes is diet-induced. It's diet, because the type 1 diabetes could be genetic, but type 2 has to do with the diet. So if you go to the hospitals now, children are presenting with the health conditions that were not available before.
Pause. Children of what age?
Children from 2, even young, yes, even younger than 2. I've heard, there's some stories that actually we shouldn't even share now, but I've heard, yes, just because of my practice as a wellness coach, you hear some stories and you are legitimately shocked at what is happening. You were honestly, truly angered when Mr. Kingsley was speaking. There's stories you hear about children. That's a direct impact of what they're eating. And I actually wonder I know that if parents know better, they will do better. So we're making a lot of noise now that we literally have to save our children because the future is not looking good at all.
So on the one hand is what I know that you will call junk pandemic.
Junk pandemic.
On the other hand is that we seem to be turning that and we rescue them from junk and we give them another junk.
What's that?
Technology. So where's the balance?
Okay, I love that you said that because I was going to mention when Lady Alera spoke about children not needing exercise because they exercise all the time. But these days, because of
technology,
they're
sitting down.
They're sitting down a lot. And then even in schools...
And hanging their necks.
Yes, so... There's actually a condition for that, but let's not go there. Where you literally are always
We were
like
always
this.
Outdoors.
Yes, we were always
playing.
Outdoors. But now, of course, there's even the security issues. How many children know their neighbors when they live in compounds that have neighbors? Because we don't want them playing outside again. In schools these days, sometimes, even recess, they spend it in class. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know, for whatever reason. It happens.
So we look forward to recess. Go out and play, skip rope.
We can't wait for the teacher to get out so that we can observe short breaks.
Yes,
Please.
and even when you got home, you would still go out and play in the streets, roll the tires and all that. But children are not having a lot of that these days because of technology. So really, the solution is with the parents. Sometimes we just need a lot more intentionality. Realize, and if we educate ourselves, you see the statistics on what technology is doing to children, reduced lifespan, where they're becoming antisocial because they have a better relationship with the screen than with real people. And I don't want to talk about adults because some adults have that, but we can literally teach the children from now.
We can't take them, okay, go.
So are you therefore saying that we should have a timetable for them and specify what number of minutes or hours they can spend on these things?
That's absolutely beautiful. Exactly that. Exactly that. Just as we have junk-free days, because we can have junk-free days when we talk about wellness, we can also have screen-free days. I remember growing up, my sister got married way ahead of me, and then for her children, I didn't even know at the time, but she would say, you don't watch TV at all during the week. And then weekend, you get some time to watch TV. And children love routines. They actually do. Just the predictability would help. So you can let them know that, no, you don't just pick mommy's phone. And it's amazing that a child would pick a phone and can operate it.
Yes.
I don't even understand that. So you let them know, regulate it. And sometimes you even want to make it, that's debatable, but sometimes it could be like a reward for something you have done right. You've done your chores, and then you earn 30 minutes of screen time. And please, it has to be regulated. You must watch what they're doing. And where possible, just send them outside. That's one of nature's 7 doctors. Exercise in sunshine. So we should take
sunshine.
Yes, in sunshine. Sunshine is air. Air is literally a doctor. So if you're on the screen, indoors, AC all the time, goodness, we're affecting the mental health, the physical health, and the overall wellness of the child.
How much time is adequate for a child to be on a screen per day?
I don't think that children should be on the screen every day, except they're learning, which can be controlled in a school environment, or they're doing assignments, because, of course, we love it. Our children are very tech savvy. They're doing their assignments on the computers. However, when it comes to leisure, the jury's out. We don't have any official figures, but I truly don't think that the child should be on the screen every day. However, the days when they are supposed to be on the screen, 30 minutes is actually ideal for a child that's aware.
Is that all?
Aware. Yes, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
You know,
sorry, my screen report sometimes says that I've been on the screen about 6 hours every day. And
no, that's nice. It will also tell you X number of hours on this particular app.
Yes.
You haven't even read the report.
And I'm
you
wondering,
just read the results.
I didn't think I spent 6 hours.
Oh, no,
and that's it, because it's addictive. You don't even know how much time, which is why it's dangerous to just leave the phone with a child. It's convenient, but it's dangerous.
You know, now, so what are the implications of that? Years ago, this is 2024, I think, before 2015, I had to sit my kids down at some point and say, I actually Googled it. Effect of screen on health. Number 1, or among others, it dulls the brain.
It dulls the brain.
It dulls the brain.
Oh.
And
oh dear.
We didn't know. It was just fun to just sit in the front of the and gawk.
Gawk is the word.
Just be looking at it like that. Do you think parents know the implications? Now, you said something about the convenience of it. The convenience of it because mommy is busy, daddy is not at work, and you just need something to lock this child down.
Yeah.
So that you can do other things. But I don't know how many parents understand the risk. So what else can the parents do to lock this child down? And because I'm sure you saw the video. Okay. The woman was busy eating, whether it was mango or whatever, and the children were screaming, oh, she was calm. The moment the children kept quiet, she panicked. So what are the options for parents?
I'm going to take a cue from you, Mr. Ayo. You know, you said you sat with your children and you Googled it. And when you saw the impact, the results, you started to make changes at home. It's the same way. You want to Google non-screen activities for children.
That will help them to keep quiet.
Honestly, you know, my children, because I remember we were in Dubai for vacation, and I realized that I couldn't keep my children calm in public, in trains and all of that, without the screen. I was so embarrassed. Once I came home, I took away I didn't even go gradually. I took away every screen. And first of all, children should be bored. Boredom would spark their creativity, because we always feel like we must stimulate them. They must be doing something, and you are not Disneyland. Your home is not Disneyland. They don't have to always be doing something. So it's okay for them to be bored. It sparks their creativity. Lady Alero, do you know what my children started to play with? Pegs. Pegs. They will take pegs. Now, if I'm going shopping, they'll be like, Mommy, please. They will send me pictures of the kind of pegs they want, because it can stand and they can build like Legos. Literally, my children will play with pegs. till today, they still create a lot of fun doing that. But how did that come? How did that creativity come? From them being bored.
Screenless.
Bored. They came up with boom. Actually, that's another impact of too much screen time. We're losing out on the creativity that could have been unleashed from our children. It's convenient, but it's really not helping anyone. So I'll give you a challenge. Sit with your children this week. This Children's Day. Our children are at home this Children's Day. Challenge them, and they love a good challenge. The children. Mr. Ayo.
I'm just saying.
The children can sit down. That's a good screen time activity. Just for that, sit down and figure out what are the other ways we can play that would stimulate our minds without the screen.
Now, let me also give you another challenge. How many parents, especially fathers, are able to sit their kids down and have any kind of conversation?
Ooh.
I believe
when
that
it's dad, it's something very serious. Most likely, I have offended. That's why dad wants to have a discussion with me.
That's not nice.
So when I'm going for that discussion, already my heart is pounding. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done?
No, am
I correct?
I said especially.
You are correct in your own right.
In my own, in my time.
Your own local government.
In my time.
Okay.
So,
dad didn't have a discussion with you, except it was something very serious.
In other words, mom is expected to be...
Mom is their friend.
Mom. I'm sorry. Don't send me away. Okay. So, Mr. Ayo, I believe that we make time for what is important to us. I truly believe that. Plus, let's even take away, we don't have to spend 2 hours every day with our children. Even that 10-minute activity, so far it's done consistently. It works. There's something we do at home, and I'm happy to share here. We call it the How Was Your Day Challenge. It doesn't take a long time. We just all sit down, and everybody stands on one fake podium like that. And we're like, how was your day? And the child says, okay, well, I woke up, I did this, then in school today, this one happened. And for them, it's a major highlight of the day. And it probably took us 10, 15 minutes before they go to bed. So we don't need 2 hours. We can't even afford 2 hours, most of us. But if you decide to flip the script and do the easier option, 20 minutes today, even 5 minutes today. And once you start to do that, you desire it more, that somehow time would be created for it, and you're bonding better with your children. And you know, today, the society is really crazy. You need, your children need to be on your side. You need to be on your children's side. They need to be your friends before someone out there tells them what they should not hear.
Yeah. Let's go back to technology. It's one thing to create the schedule and everything. It's another thing to create safeguards.
No. Yes.
You see, you said something about children navigating their way around technology. I think it was in the early 2000s, there was this Nokia phone that we bought. It was the mom's phone. No, then in those days there were buttons on the...
Yeah.
No button. The mother, owner of the phone, was still trying to figure out how to open the phone.
No.
The child was about 5 years old. Okay, yeah, take. Let's see if you'll be able to do anything with it. And the two mother and father were just driving. Next thing, they were just saying, pling, pling.
What?
Child was already on the games page, playing the game on
They can always navigate to where the games are.
That's amazing.
Point I'm trying to make is that parents, they are not natives of technology. They are, what do we call them? They are travelers.
Okay.
They traveled into technology. The children were born into it.
In.
How do parents who don't know technology monitor technology among
those who are the
digital natives?
Okay. First of all, you're going to have to learn. It's not rocket science. There's something called parental control. So if, for example, you're giving your child a phone, and of course, you need to be at a certain age and be using it for something really beneficial. If you're giving your child a phone, you can actually see everything that your child is doing on the phone if you have that feature. And it's not rocket science. You can go to someone who is a digital native to teach you to, and then you can monitor what's happening with the child. Also, please, you have to know your children's passwords. When you have to know it, so you can check their social media accounts, you can check what's happening. I mean, of course, you want to knock before you enter their room, but you must have access into their rooms so you know what's happening. So if you're able to get this parental control feature, you're able to see what's happening.
How old is this child whose bedroom door I'm knocking to get in? just asking. How old is?
I think we should knock once the child gets aware. Yeah, it's just, it's not so much that you're saying, oh, I don't, you still
gets
have
aware, as in
living
what
aware,
age?
like 2. Yes, once the child is aware, you want to do that. Yes, you're actually modeling something to the child.
I'm not going to knock.
You're modeling something to the child. You're telling the child, we knock before we enter spaces. We respect privacy. That's Lady Alero. Why are you doing this?
That he picking the parents.
Yes, from the moment they're aware, you want to teach them, like, hey, you're not, and all that. Yes, but what we're basically saying is parental control. And then we actually have timers that you can put.
When she comes into my room, she doesn't know.
So you have to teach her, and we do it together.
Just trace into, you don't want to sleep in my bed as well.
That's wrong. We teach her, and then she'll learn. So with parental control, you can actually also put timers that can knock you off after a certain time. Yes, you can learn it. This thing is really... If children can figure it out with a little more effort, we too can figure it out too. Yes.
Sleep.
Oh, sleep. It's one of nature's 7 doctors too. Sleep.
Oh.
Yes.
One of the...
Nature's 7 doctors. No.
Okay, can you just list all the 7?
I'm happy to. There's air, there's sunshine, there's water, there's sleep, there's laughter, there's good nutrition, and there's exercise.
Okay.
If you have those 7 doctors, trust me, your children won't have to
We'll come
go
to the
to the
exercise
hospital.
for children, but talk about sleep.
Sleep.
They don't want to sleep.
Really? They don't want to sleep. We just leave, if you don't want to sleep, just leave them in the room, turn off the light.
Because they probably want to go on that.
So take away that first, yes, because that's a major factor. And because it's addictive and very stimulating, even for adults, they tell us that 30 minutes to 1 hour before your bedtime, you want to wind down from every screen activity so that all of that cortisol and everything that is stimulated before you sleep can calm down.
Someone is shaking his head.
You're the person shaking your head, Mr. Ayo.
No, I'm shaking on their behalf. Like, no, forget it. 30 minutes. Is that... Okay. Is it well? Before you sleep.
But even children, children.
You know, when children go out to play, when they've got sun and air,
yes.
They will want to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Ayo, did you get that? That's so good. Jeez. When they've gotten air and sunshine and they've exercised, they will want to sleep.
Yes, now they'll be tired.
Who is the person that is going to give exercise to children?
Oh, parents, and then schools. Just if you have a safe environment, you can let them come out with supervision. Of course, if you have a domestic help, you can teach the domestic help, explain to them the
go and play football.
Yes.
I think essentially what I've heard you say now, as we wind down on this, is to even teach children, give them the options, because most times we don't even have time to give them the options. The only option as president is either TV or screen.
Phone.
And it's more injurious. I think that's just a fact that we all have to, you can do the simple search yourself. Impact of screen on children. I was mortified when I found out that it dulls the brain.
It does.
So if you're wondering why your kids' grades are dropping, maybe that is one of the culprits. Eziaha Bolaji Olojo, certified health coach, mindset and habits coach. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I can see the save our children and your this thing. Don't worry, we'll talk about that maybe some other time. That was the first thing she noticed, by the way. So when we return, let's go to Children's Day.